Sometimes the most amazing stories aren't written down in some big official book. They're hidden in plain sight, just scattered across public records, old training manuals, and yeah, even handwritten sticky notes. Today, we're going to be detectives. We're going to piece together a puzzle connecting these seemingly random scraps to show you the real inner workings of a modern medical machine. So let's jump in and start connecting these dots. And our whole story kicks off with these two words right here, found on a public document, null and void. It's for a healthcare clinic permit. So what's the deal here? Is this just some boring bureaucratic paperwork? Or is this the thread we need to pull to unravel something much, much bigger? This is the mystery we're going to solve. Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with that one puzzling record. Then we'll pull back the curtain on the huge healthcare empire behind it. From there, we'll dive deep into the very specific world of nephrology. And we'll decode their daily workflow, the official rules versus how things actually get done. And finally, we'll look at the people and the systems that make this whole medical machine tick. All right, first up, let's unpack that public record. We're going to take a closer look at the single line of data that started this whole investigation. So what are we actually looking at here? This is an official record from the state of Florida. It's for a healthcare clinic permit issued to the Florida Hospital Medical Group, which, as you can see, does business as Advent Health Medical Group. And then, boom, there it is again. Status, null and void. So that brings up a pretty big question. Who or what is Advent Health? Let's zoom out a bit. We're going to go from this one single voided license in Ocala, Florida, to see the true scale of the organization we're dealing with. Get a load of this number, 2013. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. That is how many locations are tied to Advent Health. So, yeah, we are definitely not talking about some small local clinic here. This thing is a massive healthcare system. And the range of what they do, it's just staggering. Over 300 primary care spots, almost 160 for cancer care, nearly 200 for heart care. It's a whole medical universe. But look all the way down at the bottom of that list. See that one? Tucked away among all those huge numbers are just 12 locations for something called nephrology care. And that, right there, is where our real story is hiding. So this brings us to the core of it all, the world of nephrology. That one and null and void license has now led us from a state database to a healthcare giant, and now right into one of the most specialized and complex fields in all of medicine. So what the heck is nephrology? Well, simply put, it's the branch of medicine that's all about the kidneys. Think of your kidneys as your body's super advanced 24/7 filtration system. When they're not working right, it affects, well, everything. It's a field that demands an unbelievable level of attention to detail. And in the world of nephrology, numbers are king. And one of the most important numbers of all is the eGFR. That stands for Estimated Glomerular Filtration Rate. The easiest way to think about it is like a performance score for your kidneys. It's a test that measures how well they're cleaning your blood. And the rule is simple. The lower that number goes, the more trouble your kidneys are in. And this chart lays out the stakes with absolute clarity. A GFR score above 60, you're in the clear. That's normal kidney function. But drop below 60, and you've entered the zone of chronic kidney disease, or CKD. And then, if that number falls below 15, that's kidney failure. This isn't just data on a screen. This is the critical scale that doctors and patients in a nephrology clinic live and breathe by every single day. Okay, now we get to the really juicy stuff. How does a clinic managing these incredibly high-stakes patients actually work day to day? We're about to decode their workflow by comparing the official training manual with the staff's own handwritten real-world playbook. And here it is, the two worlds colliding right in front of us. On one side, you've got the neat, professional, typed-up training guide. And on the other, a handwritten sticky note that says in all caps, "No fasting labs ever for ESRD," that's end-stage renal disease. Now, this isn't someone breaking the rules. This is hard-won wisdom. It's that critical, on-the-ground nuance that you can only get from real experience. So by putting all these pieces together, the official manual and the unofficial notes, we can actually build their real pre-visit checklist. And it is intense. First, staff have to review the patient's most recent notes. Then they log into a totally separate system called Epic to check for any recent hospital or ER visits. They print out a full list of active medications. Then they review the critical labs. things like creatinine, potassium, and of course that all-important eGFR score, and they even scan any paper blood pressure logs the patient brings from home. And get this, all of this has to happen before the patient even walks in the door. And like any super specialized field, this clinic has its own language, right? A kind of shorthand to make sure things are fast and accurate. The notes we found are just filled with these acronyms. PN/CN for different kinds of notes, ESRD for end-stage renal disease, TTE for a heart scan, renal US for a kidney ultrasound. You have to know this language to communicate when every second counts. So who are the people actually running this incredibly complex operation? Let's shift our focus now to the systems, the staff, and the specialized training that makes this whole thing work. This right here, this kind of puts a face to all that training. It's a certificate for a course called Nephrology at the Helm, and it was awarded to a staff member named Jessica Greenhood. This shows that this isn't some job you just walk into off the street. It takes constant, specialized education to stay on top of it. This isn't just a piece of paper. It's a testament to the expertise needed to handle this stuff day in and day out. And check this out. This is a quote pulled directly from a staff member's notes, and it reveals so much about their daily reality. EHR has auto reminders, but unknown to which ones. Epic does auto receive. You can just feel the daily struggle in that sentence, can't you? The technology is supposed to help, but it creates its own confusion and uncertainty that the staff constantly has to figure out and work around. And get this, it's not just one system they're trying to manage, it's two different ones. The training documents make it clear. Practice Fusion is their main system for everything that happens inside the clinic. But for anything from the hospital, like discharge notes or images, they have to log into a totally different system called Epic. So the staff themselves become the human bridge, the ones who have to connect these two separate digital worlds to build one complete picture for each patient. And that brings us to the end of our journey, where we finally connect all of these dots. We've gone from a single line in a public database all the way to the front lines of patient care. So what have we learned? That one single mysterious null and void license, it wasn't the story of a failure at all. It was actually a doorway. It was the key that unlocked this whole hidden world. A massive, interconnected system of highly specialized care, built on incredibly detailed processes, and run by dedicated, highly trained people who navigate a complex reality every single day. And all of this leaves us with one final big thought. We live in this age of AI and automation, right? But as we've just seen, the heart of this modern medical machine, it isn't just a server or some fancy algorithm. It's the experience captured on a sticky note, the expertise proven by a certificate, and the human brainpower it takes to bridge the gaps in our own technology. It really seems that for now, at least, healthcare is still very much run on paper and people.